Welcome to the monthly review briefing. I am meteorologist Michael Murphy, the climate program leader here at the National Weather Service Pendleton office. This briefing will highlight the weather of March 2015. I will provide an overview of the March monthly statistics, a brief synopsis of significant March weather events, and discuss the April 2015 temperature and precipitation outlooks. This graphic is from the High Plains Regional Climate Center and shows its departure from normal temperatures for the month of March 2015. The time period for the normals is 1981 to 2010. A value of 0 would mean that the location reported a normal average temperature for the month of March. Southern Washington and central to northeast Oregon was above average, with temperatures between 2 to 8 degrees above normal for the month. This resulted in many locations setting records in terms of daily and monthly temperatures. I will go over some of those records in the coming slides. The next graphic is also from the High Plains Regional Climate Center. This shows a percent of normal precipitation for the Northwest for the month of March 2015. A value of 100% means that the location reported their average monthly total precipitation. Nearly all locations reported below normal precipitation, ranging from 40 to 90% of average. The only exceptions were near the Yakima and Kittitas Valley, where 100 to 125% of average precipitation fell. Of the precipitation that fell, very little of it fell as snow. The east slopes of the Cascades reported having between 10 to 30% of their normal snow water equivalent, while the Blue Mountains reported between 20 to 60% of their normal snow water equivalent. Information about our monthly snowpack can be found in our snowpack and water supply briefing. The month of March started off cool and dry for the first 5 days, then remained dry with a warming trend towards day 10. The weather turned more active with several systems moving through the area for the middle and end of the month. Temperatures generally remained above to much above normal for the second half of the month. The first system of note moved through the area on March 14th and 15th, followed by another series of notable storm systems which affected the region from March 22nd through the 25th. Finally, the period of March 26th through the 28th was characterized by a low-pressure system coming onshore along the Oregon coast with strong southerly pressure gradients present over southern Washington state and central to northeast Oregon. This provided for a strong downslope wind component, which brought a significant rise in temperature due to descent and compressional warming. More information on these weather systems can be found in Section 3, Significant Weather, below. The combination of these events resulted in many top 10 March record high temperatures in southern Washington state and central to northeast Oregon. The following table lists the weather station, March rank of the one-day record high, the record temperature and date of occurrence, and the current record temperature for the month of March, or the previous record in cases where 2015 was the new record. Monument, Oregon set a new March record maximum temperature of 85 degrees on March 30th, breaking the old record of 83 degrees set on March 30th, 1966. Davao, Oregon set a new March record maximum temperature of 83 degrees on March 28th, breaking the old record of 80 set on March 31st, 2003. Yakima, Washington set a new March record maximum temperature of 80 degrees on March 27th, tying the old record of 80 set on March 25th, 1960. Condon, Oregon set a new March record maximum temperature of 70 degrees on March 28th, tying the old record of 78 set on March 29th, 1923. Long Creek, Oregon set a new March record maximum temperature of 77 degrees on March 28th, breaking the old record of 76 set on March 29th, 1966. Moxie City, Washington set a new March record maximum temperature of 76 degrees on March 27th, breaking the old record of 75 set on March 29th, 1966. Meeksham, Oregon set a new March record maximum temperature of 75 degrees on March 27th, breaking the old record of 70 degrees set on March 27th, 2005. Status Pass, Washington tied a March record maximum temperature of 73 degrees on March 28th, tying the old record of 73 degrees on March 30th, 2003. Hermiston, Oregon recorded its second highest March maximum temperature on record of 78 degrees on March 27th. The highest maximum temperature recorded in March is 79 degrees on March 30th, 2003. With the increasing winds and cloud cover out ahead of the March 14th to 15th storm system, several locations set top 10 record warm low temperatures for the month of March in southern Washington and central to northeast Oregon. The following table lists the weather station, Mark's rank of the one-day record warm low temperature, the record temperature with date of occurrence, and the current record temperature for the month of March, or the previous record in cases where 2015 temperature was a new record. A T indicates that the temperature tied the record with other dates. Meacham, Oregon set a new record warm minimum temperature of 47 degrees for the month of March on March 14th, breaking the old record of 44 set on March 9th, 1972. Yakima, Washington recorded its second warmest minimum temperature of 51 degrees for the month of March on March 14th. The warmest minimum temperature on record for March is 52 degrees, set on March 27th, 1981. The Dalles, Oregon tied its third warmest minimum temperature of 52 degrees for the month of March on March 14th. The warmest minimum temperature on record for March is 54 degrees, set on March 15th, 1998. Hermiston, Oregon tied its third warmest minimum temperature of 50 degrees for the month of March on March 14th and again on March 15th. The warmest minimum temperature on record for March is 54 degrees, set on March 13th, 2003. Sadis Pass, Washington recorded its third warmest minimum temperature of 46 degrees on March 14th and March 15th. The warmest minimum temperature on record for March is 48 degrees, set on March 11th, 2007. Redmond, Oregon tied its fourth warmest minimum temperature of 49 degrees for the month of March on March 14th. The warmest minimum temperature on record for March is 53 degrees, set on March 4th, 1987. Walla Walla, Washington tied its fifth warmest minimum temperature of 54 degrees for the month of March on March 14th. The warmest minimum temperature on record for March is 64 degrees, set on March 4th, 1987. Prosser, Washington tied its fifth warmest minimum temperature of 52 degrees for the month of March on March 30th. The warmest minimum temperature on record for March is 61 degrees, set on March 12, 2007. Goldendale, Washington tied its fifth warmest minimum temperature of 48 degrees for the month of March on March 15th. The warmest minimum temperature on record for March is 51 degrees, set on March 12, 2007. Condon, Oregon tied its sixth warmest minimum temperature of 47 degrees for the month of March on March 14th and 15th. The warmest minimum temperature on record for March is 53 degrees, set on March 4th, 1987. Mora, Oregon set its 10th warmest minimum temperature of 48 degrees for the month of March on March 14th. The warmest minimum temperature on record for March is 54 degrees, set on March 26, 1943. The mean synoptic pattern for the month of March 2015 was characterized with a ridge pattern that was centered along the Washington and Oregon coast. This kept the area mild and generally drier than average by deflecting the main storm track well north and east of our area for the majority of the month, with very little intrusion of colder Canadian or Arctic air. When assessing pressure patterns over a long-term mean, this pattern would be considered significantly above average for the month of March. Numerous top 10 average high temperatures were set throughout the southern Washington and central to northeast Oregon. Numerous top 10 average high temperatures were set throughout southern Washington, central to northeast Oregon. The following table lists the location, the rank, the average March high temperature, and the record warmest average March high temperature or the previous record in cases where 2015 temperature was a new record. Yakima, Washington set a new all-time March average high temperature of 64.6, breaking the previous record of 62.8 set in 1992. Hermiston, Oregon set a new all-time March average high temperature of 64.5, breaking the previous record of 63.2 in 2004. Whitman, Mission, Washington set a new all-time March average high temperature of 64.3, breaking the previous record of 63.1 in 2004. Meacham, Oregon set a new all-time March average high temperature of 54.9, breaking the previous record of 50.3 in 2007. Redmond, Oregon set a new all-time March average high temperature of 61.5, breaking the previous record of 60.1 in 2007. The Dalles, Oregon set a new all-time March average high temperature of 64.3, breaking the previous record of 63.2 in 1992. Moxie City, Washington set an all-time March average high temperature of 61.1, breaking the previous record of 60.5 in 1992. Antelope, Oregon set a new all-time March average high temperature of 59.6, breaking the previous record of 59.1 in 1941. Condon, Oregon set a new all-time March average high temperature of 59.6, breaking the previous record of 59.4 in 1934. Numerous top 10 warmest March average low temperature records were set throughout the area, but none broke any of the prior number 1 records set. Overnight low temperatures were still quite warm across the region, though the drier than usual air mass and the brief early month modified cold air intrusion left over from late February did keep the numbers down slightly. The following table lists the location, the rank, the average March low temperature, and the record warmest March low temperature. Keep in mind that these are average low temperatures, which is an average of all the low temperatures recorded across the 31 days of the calendar month. Davie, Oregon had its second warmest March average low temperature of 36.2, with the current record being 37.1 in 1983. Yakima, Washington had its second warmest March average low temperature of 35.6, with the current record being 36.9 in 1983. Condon, Oregon had its second warmest March average low temperature of 35.1, with the current record being 35.6 in 1910. Moxie City, Washington had its second warmest March average low temperature of 35.1, with the current record being 35.5 in 1986. Milton, Freewater, Oregon had its third warmest March average low temperature of 42.3, with the current record being 43.7 in 2003. Prosser, Washington had its third warmest March average low temperature of 38.4, with the current record being 39.6 in 2003. Heppner, Oregon had its third warmest March average low temperature of 37.5, with the current record being 38.5 in 1983. Hermiston, Oregon had its third warmest March average low temperature of 34.9, with the current record being 37.9 in 2003. Bend, Oregon had its third warmest March average low temperature of 32.2, with the current record being 34.9 in 1934. Given the prevalence of warm temperatures across the region, with the warmer than average high and low temperatures, it is no surprise that a significant number of top 5 warmest March average temperatures on record were set throughout the area. In fact, an incredible 10 climate sites reported their number 1 warmest average March temperature on record. The following table lists the location, the rank, the average March temperature, and the record warmest March average temperature. Milton, Freewater, Oregon set a new all-time record warmest March average temperature of 52.6, beating the previous record of 52.5 set in 1934. Yakima, Washington set an all-time record warmest March average temperature of 50.1 degrees, beating the previous record of 48.1 set in 1992. Davie, Oregon set a new all-time record warmest March average temperature of 50 degrees, beating the previous record of 49.7 set in 1986. Hermiston, Oregon set a new all-time record warmest March average temperature of 49.7, beating the previous record of 49.6 set in 2003. Moxie City, Washington set an all-time record warmest March average temperature of 48.1, beating the previous record of 47.6 set in 1992. Condon, Oregon set a new all-time record warmest March average temperature of 47.4, beating the previous record of 46.9 set in 1934. Grizzly, Oregon set a new all-time record warmest March average temperature of 44.1, beating the previous record of 42.9 set in 2004. Long Creek, Oregon set a new all-time record warmest March average temperature of 43.4, beating the previous record of 43.2 set in 1992. Meeksham, Oregon set a new all-time record warmest March average temperature of 41.0, beating the previous record of 39.0 set in 2007. Walla Walla, Washington set a new all-time record warmest March average temperature of 52.0, beating the previous record of 52.4 in 2004. We now turn our attention to the significant weather in the month of March 2015. A storm system affected the area on March 14th and 15th. A strong cold front moved into the interior Pacific Northwest during the morning hours on Saturday, March 14th, bringing periods of rain and gusty winds. An area of low pressure with an estimated minimum central pressure of 1,004 millibars moved north along the Oregon coast on Sunday, March 15th, helping to enhance and prolong the rainfall along a developing warm frontal boundary. The system finally lifted north and weakened by the afternoon hours on March 16th. From March 22nd through the 25th, another strong cold front with an associated low pressure system moved into the area, bringing periods of rain, wind, lowering snow levels, and cooler temperatures. Several individual disturbances within the broader upper level trough continued to affect the area until the 25th, when the entire system finally moved north and east away from the region. During the afternoon and evening hours on March 27th and into early morning hours on March 28th, a disturbance moved through the area. This disturbance combined with daytime heating, atmospheric instability, and some wind shear to develop an area of showers and embedded thunderstorms over much of the forecast area. The only areas that missed out on these storms were the Yakima and Kittitas Valley region and south central Oregon. Many locations saw their first thunderstorm of the season with this weather system. A few storms over northern Oregon and southern Washington had gusty winds near 45 miles per hour and small hail up to penny size. Most of the activity left the area by daybreak on the 28th. And now we will turn our attention to the climate forecast for April 2015. The Climate Prediction Center had issued an El Nino advisory due to the warmer than normal sea surface temperatures across mainly the central tropical Pacific Ocean. Their forecast states that there is a 70% chance that El Nino conditions will persist through the northern hemisphere summer of this year. The next two slides will provide the outlook for the month of April and what impacts this late season El Nino development may have on our region. This graphic is issued by the Climate Prediction Center, or the CPC, and is a temperature outlook for the month of April. The cool colors indicate a greater chance of below normal temperatures, and the warm colors represent a greater chance of above normal temperatures. The period for the normals runs from 1981 to 2010. Most of the Pacific Northwest is forecast to have equal chances of either above, below, or near normal temperatures for the month of April. Along the immediate Pacific Northwest coast, there is a 33% chance for above normal temperatures in April. This graphic is CPC's precipitation outlook for the month of April. The green colors represent a greater chance of above normal precipitation, and the brown colors represent a greater chance of below normal precipitation. The entire Pacific Northwest has equal chances of above, below, or near normal precipitation totals for the month of April. Please remember that these are probabilities of averages, and that the day-to-day weather will still vary for the month of April. This concludes our briefing. Please continue to visit the National Weather Service web pages for the latest weather information, including watches, warnings, and advisories. Thank you for your time.